Police making an arrest after a frenzied fight at Miami International Airport.
Two women going at it while other travelers instigated that fight. Let's go to Local 10's Leanne Mullerhone live now with this wild video. Leanne.
And that video making it to the public freakout sub on Reddit. If you know anything about that, you know it's got to be a big public freakout, a big public chaos event for it to make it there. Lots of people talking.
Give me a breakdown racially of the people you're going to see on those videos on the public freakout subreddit on Reddit. And now I want you to think about how woke Reddit is. How many white liberals there are on Reddit telling you, if you're white, how racist you are, and if you're black, what you need to think, who you need to vote for, how disenfranchised you are, how institutionally, systematically you are against it, whatever. And think about that they have a subreddit called Public Freakouts, and you know who's on there.
On live now with this wild video, Leanne.
And that video making it to the public freakout sub on Reddit. If you know anything about that, you know it's got to be a big public freakout, a big public chaos event for it to make it there. Lots of people talking about this one everywhere, and it happened right here at MIA. Complete chaos unfolding near Gate G15 at Miami International Airport. The video now making the rounds, going viral on social media. According to a document from airport police, quote, units responded after passengers were reportedly fighting aboard the aircraft. The passengers had to be deplaned due to an irate female refusing to comply. Police went on to arrest Alexis Beatty from Chicago for disorderly conduct and breaching the peace.
Now, for all of you guys who don't subscribe to all my channels, I did a video last week on Nation TV. There was a fight in Miami at the airport, and the people were from Chicago. They were on their way to Chicago in that case. Guess after having a fun weekend in Miami, making Miami a better place, they decided to take their talents back to Chicago. So this is the second week in a row. Make sure you go check out that video, Nation TV. This is the second week in a row there's been a public, and in that video, it was guys fighting. And they were fighting, they were trying to kill each other. And it took up the entire section of the airport. I mean, that whole area was just black dudes fighting here, black dudes fighting over there. Just, it looked like Royal Rumble. Anybody used to watch wrestling, Royal Rumble? It looked like a Royal Rumble. One person arrested. Just like in this case, one person arrested. And these the same people that talk about the Capitol riots. And always got something to say about white people and all that stuff. Don't say nothing about white people no more. Send me the videos of white people fighting in the airport, trying to kill each other in front of everybody. Literally trying to maul and mangle each other. Send me the video. That's it. No more talking about white people. We don't do that here. Send me the videos. I will do the video. You guys know that. I will do the video. Send me the video. I scour the net looking for this stuff. I can't find it. So if you can find it, white people, not just in the last week, we go back 5 years. We'll do 5 years. Trying to maul and mangle and just destroy each other in an airport. This is the second one in a week at this one airport involving Wakandan Send me one in the last 5 years. White people doing this. Asians, Hispanics. Because remember y'all talk about the black and brown coalition. Ain't no black and brown coalition. It's just y'all. It's just black. Brown people are doing great in this country. Stop trying to pull them down with you.
Police went on to arrest Alexis Beatty from Chicago for disorderly conduct and breaching the peace. This is far from the first recent incident of passengers from or at MIA getting out of hand. Two groups of people were recorded fighting in the American Airlines terminal last month. One witness told us the scuffle may have started over available seats on the plane. Police arrested 20-year-old Jamil DeQueer for disorderly conduct.
Nah, my man name ain't Jamil DeQueer. Jamil the Queer. I know he had a rough life growing up around brother. That's probably why he's so angry. That type of name, and then looking like that too, like kind of like you know, Jamil DeQueer. Man, that's a softball. I ain't even gonna do that.
Two groups of people were recorded fighting in the American Airlines terminal last month. One witness told us the scuffle may have started over available seats on the plane. Police arrested 20-year-old Jamil DeQueer for disorderly conduct. And on May 1st, police in New York arrested a woman for reportedly assaulting a flight attendant during an American Airlines flight from Miami. Detectives say the woman punched a flight attendant after refusing to comply with mask requirements.
Give me a race on that woman in New York, because they not gonna show you her picture. Give me a race on that woman from New York that beat up the flight attendant.
As for the incident that was captured on that video we showed you right at the top of the piece, we understand that when she was on board the plane, she allegedly was getting violent with the flight crew, belligerent with some of the other passengers, and then what you saw here when she got off of the plane. Eventually, all those passengers got back on the plane and over to their destination, and Beatty was taken to the local jail. Reporting live at Miami International.
Who want to hear, how many of y'all in the mood to hear about how the jail population is disproportionately black, and that it has something other to do, that it's another reason besides this? Anybody in the mood for that right now? Being lectured about disproportionate demographics in jail. Y'all want to be lectured about that right now? What about the causes? Nobody will be lectured about the causes. Oh, some of y'all do want to be lectured about the causes. But do you want to be lectured about the causes and this not even being mentioned? And if you bring it up and you white, you're a racist. And if you black, you're a sellout. Still want to get lectured on prison demographics? Huh?
A recent race forum in the Rockwood School District sparked a hot debate. How should or shouldn't we talk about race in schools? The term critical race theory has gotten a lot of attention recently.
Some Missouri lawmakers have even taken steps to ban it. New tonight, our Abby Larico looked at how it could impact your child's education.
What is critical race theory? Parents at this forum on race and curriculum in the Rockwood School District are not the only ones fired up about it.
I did not use the word racist.
Scholars of critical race theory define it as recognizing race as a social construct, but one that's been deeply embedded in American institutions throughout history. They say you can see implications of that today.
White privilege is real. It is so real.
Like in the criminal justice system or even demographics of communities. Advocates say CRT urges people to grapple with systemic racism, to work toward understanding and fairness.
What are the biases that could exist in the system so that we can actually create that platform and create the equity that we all long for?
But opponents have said CRT perpetuates racism.
It's basically white shaming. And that's basically a racist viewpoint.
Saying it pushes the idea that white people are inherently racist and people of color inherently oppressed.
We can do a lot of good for the nation from here, but not if we're continually divided by race and or gender. Let's look at ourselves as equal. I think that's what Martin Luther King Jr. was looking for.
I know where that comes from, mentioning Martin Luther King. White people, don't do that. That has no effect on black people, talking about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was on some turn the other cheek stuff. Now, those Martin Luther King references back in the day, now these black people are in a different space, man. We not feeling all that. They, us, whichever one. Because I'm with them on some stuff and I'm not with them on other stuff. So, Wakandans, just don't do the Martin Luther King reference. It doesn't have the effect. Even if you, for no other reason as it doesn't move the dial, doesn't move the meter, doesn't stir any emotions, doesn't do anything for black people. So no more Martin Luther King references, okay? But I get where he was coming from.
We can do a lot of good for the nation from here, but not if we're continually divided by race and or gender. Let's look at ourselves as equal. I think that's what Martin Luther King Jr. was looking for.
Some Missouri lawmakers are pushing to ban CRT in schools. They say it can make children feel bad.
To me, this is child abuse.
The past several years, there have been many attempts to fundamentally change our traditions and our rich history.
A history that has been largely written by white people.
All we want is just a little acknowledgement.
America can be a great country and while also being a flawed country. And that it is okay to address those flaws, to bring attention to it, and in some cases, rewrite a more accurate version of history.
Okay, brother. Let's go to the Missouri Gun Memorial. Want to do that? And I'm only doing this, Missouri, because this is where this brother is from, okay? This is where this brother is from. The whole state of Missouri, every race, Asians, Hispanic, Eskimos, whites, everybody included. As you know, Missouri has a very low black population. Could never be considered a place where a lot of black people, I mean, this place is majority white. Want to talk about this flaw, brother? The brother was talking about how flawed America is and how we need to address these things. Who thinks he wants to address this flaw? And look at the ones where they don't even have pictures. Damon, Terrell. Even, so all like, you think this brother wants to address this flaw, this deeply flawed aspect of America in his state? No, he wants to talk about racist white people. And not even racist white people. He wants to talk about how all white people are inherently racist. He don't even want to talk about the racist one. He just wants to talk all of them is just inherently racist. And that's the biggest problem he's facing.
there have been many attempts to fundamentally change our traditions and our rich history.
A history that has been largely written by white people.
All we want is just a little acknowledgement.
America can be a great country and while also being a flawed country. And that it is okay to address those flaws, to bring attention to it, and in some cases, rewrite a more accurate version of history.
Defining race-related terms like CRT is one thing, having the difficult conversations is another. I'm Abby Larico, 5 on your side.
CRT is also discussed along with the 1619 Project, which is an account of U.S. history centered on the implications of slavery. There are Republican-led efforts, both at the federal and state level, to keep that out of the school curriculum, too.
Them white people thinking they going to negotiate. They going to talk their way. Listen, leave. That's the only thing. You can go leave. Come back in a couple hours. Hopefully they be gone. That was your only way out of this. Talking and nah, you ain't having a shot in hell with that. Okay, that might be a biracial woman there. That may actually be a biracial woman there. You can tell by her hair texture. But I want you to listen to the things that these people are saying in public, in front of everybody. You might not be able to hear it. The guy says, call me when you got your people ready for some, action and whatnot. He's telling her to call him when her people are ready for some action. Call when, so they trying to set up a date later to get into some, I guess, shooting or some, fighting or whatever, something that's going to lead to people going to prison and people losing their lives and people being harmed. Now the guy who told the woman, call me, I hope you got some people that correct. Call me, I hope you got some people that correct. Now he's being choked and flinged around like a rag doll. Wakanda is an indestructible. Look at homie face, man. He like, man, you can bang my head on the ground for hours and I can still keep smiling. White folk, y'all ain't ready for this, man. Y'all better stick to fighting with your armies and whatnot. This regular street stuff and airports and amusement parks, man, don't mess with these people, man. Go call the police or call security, man. Don't mess with these people, man. This dude smiling, man. He getting thrown around like a rag doll. He's smiling.
Hey, watch out, watch out. Don't touch me.
Now you see this dude right here calling my man a B. Instigating. And I ain't gonna sit here and act like I ain't used to do stuff like that, man. I promise you, man, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't used to instigate fights and hype up fights and love to see fights and be dancing and be like just an energy go through you when you see a fight. Like, it's just like, I can't even describe it, man. It's like a euphoric, it just, a drug, like a shot of, just some kind of endorphin just shoots through you. When you're a brother and you see a fight, I've grown out of that, but I can relate to this. Just instigating this from the sidelines and whatnot. But this is what you deal with. And this is what you're going to have. And this is what makes these situations worse. This is what you got to deal with when you share public spaces with Wakandans, man. and you think about how racist this country is supposed to be, and that these are the people, I promise you, as you look at the crowd in this video, all of these people voted. All these people vote. Nobody votes more than, first of all, the stats are in. Nobody votes more than black people. Black people vote far more by percentage than, the other minority groups. But all these people voted. All these people voted for Biden. All of these people believe in critical race theory as much as they can digest. I'm sure these people don't know, like, critical race theory. They never read the book or anything, or they don't know the tenets of it. But whatever you ask them anything about this country, it's racist. And you ask them anything about policing, it's racist. You ask them anything about the school system, it's racist. You ask them anything about employment, the jobs, it's racist. They're going to tell you everything's racist. If you ask them why people don't want them around, or why people may, if you ask these people about white flight, for instance, why would they say that white flight exists? How many of you think that they would say that it exists because white people don't want to raise their kids around this type of violence, and white people don't want themselves to be around this type of violence that happens on the regular? Or you think that they will say that it's because white people are racist? Ask them about Mexicans. Mexicans are racist towards blacks. How many of y'all think that why they would say Mexicans are racist towards blacks? Whether it would have something to do with things like this, or that it would be about Mexicans just don't like them because they're racist. Ask them anything about anything, and it will come back to race. The sole reason for anything you ask them is going to be race. For anything that they can't have, or haven't attained, or haven't achieved, or there's a disproportionate, anything that is not, if it ain't as many blacks in it as whites, if it ain't as many blacks that achieve the highest level of a certain thing as whites, the only reason they're going to give you is racism. Okay? Everything is racism. As they don't consider these things. Like, and this is the thing that you got to understand. Like, not only are they not, like, going to attribute these things to the way other people may feel about them, but it's not even a consideration. Like, they wouldn't even think. Like, you could be like, all right, you've given me 20 things on why XYZ, you're treated like this, or you're incarcerated more, or whatever. Now, let's think outside the box. Give me another reason that it could be. And they would never think of this, that this is part of it. They've been told that this is not part of it. It's racism. And now they're teaching this in the schools, not just the university. They're teaching this in first grade. That anything you see that is not 100% equality, if it's 49 black people that graduated with honors from XYZ school, and there are 50 whites, the reason that it's not both 50 is because of racism. If there's 201 white people in the jail, and it's 202 black people in the jail, it's because of racism.
watch out. Don't touch me.
Scam. I wanna look like you. Scam.